Well, now as parts of London come to terms with 4 fatal shootings in the last 3 weeks, Focus pundit Gavin Peacock has been to visit a project which is helping young people to turn their backs on gun crime. The Greenhouse charity runs sports coaching in some of London's most deprived areas and is using sports like football to help get young people off the streets.
Teams of armed police are on the streets of South London tonight amid fears that gun crime is out of control.
Tonight, 3 teenagers shot dead in 12 days.
It's been said that sport can transcend problems in society. So here I am in North Peckham, in the centre of some of London's most notorious estates, to see how Greenhouse Bethwyn Football Club is trying to achieve just that.
Go, 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 go!
On this side, we've got the North Peckham estate, which is now it's been notorious for the Daniela Taylor and the Daniela Taylor stabbing. And then you've got the Aylesbury estate over this side here, which is the largest housing estate in the whole of Europe.
Please, Bethwyn! Rapid, please.
A lot of these kids are young and lost, basically, and even myself, I feel lost.
A circle, please, yeah, not a square, not a diamond, a circle, please. Come on, gentlemen.
There's been a spate of shootings locally, just in the last few months, and there was a few last year. And what seems to happen with myself is, I hear about it, I look in the, I read it up in the press, and then the gentleman who was basically stabbed over in Southampton Way, I looked at his name and I thought, I know this kid, I know the name, and I realised that, he's one of our kids who used to play for the clubs 2 years ago. If we'd basically been given the support, funding there and then, we could have basically started our men's team a lot earlier, and maybe we could have had that young gentleman actually been playing football with us, rather than being out doing what he was doing. And a lot of kids are caught up in a negative cycle. What we try to do is use recreational activity to guide them out of negative cycles and try and make them see the bigger picture.
Is it tough out there for young people in this area? What would you be getting up to?
Might be influenced by other people going in the wrong direction.
So do you think these guys out here need strong role models?
Yeah, most definitely. As I said, it's hard because I feel like we're competing against, negative role models out there. A lot of them need a consistent in their life, they need that structure, and a lot of these young guys do want the discipline as well.
Ishmael, what's that, please, Ishmael? What, you stretching your ankles?
We don't tolerate bad behaviour, we don't tolerate antisocial behaviour, we do not tolerate swearing, bullying. And the carrot for a lot of these kids is the football at the end of the week. So if they're here, they need to attend training if they want to play on Saturday.
Is that your criteria to play, not how good they are?
No, it's not ability at all. Don't get me wrong, we've got a lot of good, able players here, but we believe that we need to develop their life skills, things like their punctuality, their attendance, their general attitude to things.
All your hands up, and if you basically come down, all the way down, all the way down. Okay, there's no need to worship me, let's get going.
What other things do you try and teach you?
If you want to be like a footballer, for example, you can't just stay at home, don't come training and stuff like that. You have to come and improve yourself.
Say you weren't playing down here, what do you think you'd be doing in your spare time?
Probably being lazy, laying at home, watching Football Focus.
No, that's not being lazy, that's doing something good with your time. On Wednesday, I visited another greenhouse project in Rains Park, where they run sports coaching to keep kids from deprived areas of London off the streets during the school holidays. Do you think from some of the backgrounds that these young people come from, it's difficult for them to get out of a downward social spiral at times?
Definitely. In the light of what's happening out of road, with the shootings over the past, 10 days, 3 youths. The youths that were actually shot were the same age as some of the ones that we got here. So, you can get caught up in things like that.
Do they talk about it when they hear that these shootings that are close to home and of kids the same age?
Well, yeah, because there's a couple of guys here know one of the guys that was actually shot.
Really?
They went to the same school.
Are they fearful of it out there on the street, or did they take it as just part of life?
Yeah, I believe that they are fearful of it because, in a sense, that they're here. If they wasn't fearful of it, then after they'd probably be outside and be probably on the fringes of it. But because they want to get away from it, they come to a place like this. It's a very, very good project because it's really entertaining and the kids need it, They want to get involved here. The participation is absolutely excellent.
I think that's the end of the interview.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Gavin. A worthwhile project there, Liz.
Yeah, any project like that that's going to get the kids off the street and the facilities, given the facilities to go. I come from an estate just round the corner in Ladbroke Grove, and when I was growing up, we we used to have gangs, but we had somewhere to go and play football. And if you can provide the facilities for the boys to do that, it takes the negative aspect of just being on the streets and doing nothing and getting bored. You know, we were focused on playing football and doing other activities. And if the facilities are there, then it's surely going to take them away from just laying about and doing nothing.
Martin?
Yeah, I think all credit to these community workers. You know, get people into a team environment, and it's great for them. Obviously, difficult times now in some of these neighbourhoods, and you know, they've got good role models with these community workers, and that's what we want for them.
I think just to get them off the streets, get them off, you know, out of the gang culture, and give them a way or a route out has got to be a plus.
Sure.